Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and Apple has released the second beta of iOS 18.3. As you probably know, iOS 18.3 was released on its first beta last month, and now after the holiday season and all that, we have the second beta of iOS 18.3, which I think is actually a great update. I'm talking about the second beta here. So of course, this is a smaller update. Even though it's a 0.3, it still doesn't bring many new features and changes. It is focused more on bug fixes, performance, and all that, and we're gonna talk all about that in a few minutes here. So first of all, let's take a look at the details of this update, and as you can see right here, the second beta will come to your device at around 700 megabytes. That of course always different on different devices, and of course different based on which software you're updating from. If you're updating from the first beta of iOS 18.3, then the update should be right here somewhere around 700 megabytes. And let's take a look at the build number as well, and you can see the new build number for iOS 18.3 beta 2. The build number will be 22D5040D. ending with a D, indicating that it's actually not a lot of betas to go until the final release of iOS 18.3. And given the fact that there will be no big features coming to iOS 18.3, I don't expect Apple to actually release a lot of betas for this software, but we're going to talk about the next releases and the release of iOS 18.3 in a few minutes here. First of all, let's take a look at what's new with this update. Now here is a change that you will find on the calculator app with iOS 18.3. I don't know what you can call this, whether you want to call it a feature or a fix. Now when you calculate something on iOS 18.2 and you tap the equals, it's done here. So it will basically show this result, and if you keep like pressing the equals right here, it won't go further than that. But that now has been fixed with iOS 18.3. Now keep in mind that this used to be a feature on iOS before iOS 18, but it was removed with iOS 18, and now it has made a comeback with 18.3. Another feature that you will see with iOS 18.3 most likely, even though it's still not available with the second beta, is an updated, basically an improvement on the summarized notifications. Now Apple has been criticized about the summarized notifications. They need to work on their algorithm, but of course, according to Apple, and as you will see all around iOS 18 with the new Apple Intelligence features, all of those are still on beta, even though they have been released to the public. So expect new improvements to the summarized notifications. So overall, iOS 18.3 doesn't bring any big new features and changes. On the first beta, we had a few like small features, the robot vacuum support for the home app, the tweaked icon for the image playground, and also the ability to actually log in on the feedback app using your Face ID. And there was also an update for the camera control on the settings menu with the dark mode option for that icon. And overall, there are no like new features that you can actually mention and actually make a big difference on iOS 18.3. But as I talked about this update, it brings some really great improvements when it comes to performance, and we're gonna head and take a look right now to the performance and battery, which I think are the best parts of this update. Now first of all, let's talk about performance here, and you will see the improvement of the performance on iOS 18.3 when you compare iOS 18.3 beta 2 with beta 1. Now this is the performance that I got, the score that I basically got on iOS 18.3 with Geekbench 6, and you can see the multi-core score here is at 7,356. You can see the comparison here with the first beta of iOS 18.3, which actually was at 7,309. So we have an almost 50 points right there increase for the multi-core score. And we also have an increase on the single core score, as you can see right here at 2,964, while iOS 18.3 beta 1 was at 2,931. You can see right there a 33-point increase for the single core score. And overall, even with the first beta, the performance is actually quite good. We have some bugs here and there. I have a few bugs here on my device that I have been experiencing, most of them with the touch, with the touch on the screen, sometimes it's not really responsive, and also with the dark mode icons, usually the dock icons won't actually change to the dark mode. That's a bit annoying, but hopefully that has been fixed with the second beta, because I haven't been able to actually reproduce that problem with the second beta. It seems that it actually has been fixed. Now, of course, with every update on iOS, one of the most important things, besides of course performance and new features, is the battery as well. Now, talking about battery, here we can talk about the first beta, because we just had iOS 18.3 beta 2 release, so we have to wait for a few more days to see how it will perform. But right here you will see it actually does perform really good when it comes to battery. First of all, you can see right here my battery health is at 91%. Probably is way lower than that because it's not actually displaying here correctly. It has been on 91 for like 3 or 4 months now, but you will see right here how battery has been performing with iOS 18.3 beta 1. So you can see right there with about 110% battery, we had 9 hours 20 minutes. Right here again about 110% battery, 10 hours 41 minutes, and right here again about 105% battery, 8 hours 6 minutes. Right here 9 hours with 100% battery, and right here with exactly 150% battery, 13 hours, and then again here 13 hours and 30 minutes with about 120% battery. So it's actually really great. Like comparing iOS 18.2 with iOS 18.3, even though this is still on the first initial betas, it's actually quite good, and in my opinion the battery life is even better than that of iOS 18.2. And now let's talk about the next releases and when can we expect iOS 18.3 to be released to the public. Well, we're currently on the second beta, and I don't expect Apple to release more than 3 or maybe even 4 betas. In my opinion it will be 3, but let's take a look here at the calendar. We can expect like the third beta to be released next week, most likely January 13th or 14th should be the dates when Apple releases the third beta. And then if they release a beta 4, it will be on the 21st or 22nd most likely. And if they don't, they should release the RC version on this date, like the 21st of January. Most likely, in my opinion, it will be the RC. But if that doesn't happen and Apple releases another beta, then beta 4 will be right there. Now, if they release the RC on the 21st, then you can expect the 27th of January to be the date that Apple releases iOS 18.3 to the public. If they go with the fourth beta, then you can expect February the 3rd to be the date when Apple will release iOS 18.3 to the public. So this is iOS 18.3 until now, of course. Besides the fact that there are no like big new features, it's an amazing update, and this second beta looks actually even better when it comes to performance and bug fixes and all that. So that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, and of course if you want to be updated with the latest iOS update, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.